Can you get a great deal on a foreclosure property or a court-ordered sale? Yes, but not always. Listen up. This is exactly how a foreclosure process works. Let's say for some personal reason a seller cannot pay their mortgage. The bank usually gives them 2 to 3 months to pay the mortgage. If for some reason the seller still cannot pay, usually something related to the job loss, divorce, death in family, whatever reason, doesn't matter, the bank will give them a few months. And if the owner of the property still cannot pay, the bank becomes the seller and the bank takes over the house. They hire a realtor and they list the house on the MLS through a realtor. So if you're in a smaller city with not a lot of people looking properties at any given time, you have a fairly good chance of getting a great deal on a foreclosure. But if you're in a fairly big city like Vancouver, Coquitlam, Burnaby, Surrey, there's a lot of buyers out there. So the competition is not the buyer versus the seller, it's buyer versus other buyers. So the chances of you getting a great deal are a lot lower the bigger the city and the more desirable the property is in the desirable neighborhood. So say there's a foreclosure sale. You look at the property through, it's listed on MLS, you let your buyer's agent know, they book a showing very normally. There's nothing weird about this process for now. You look at the property, let's say you like the property, you write on it with normal subjects, whatever subjects you need, usually subject to financing and inspection. Yes, you can get financing, yes, you can do an inspection, as long as you are the first or the original bidder. You write on the property, there's some things that you cannot put on the offer, even if it doesn't matter if you're the first offer or the last one. You cannot ask the seller or the bank for any guarantees, like the appliances might not be working, there might be holes in the walls, there might be stuff, let's say leaks in the walls or anything. In a usual sale, the seller is technically responsible as long as you put it in the contract, but the bank will never take on any liabilities because bank doesn't know anything about the house. A lot of people have this misconception that the banks will accept any offer that you throw at them. That's generally not the case. Most likely the bank will wait for at least a few weeks, if not a month, to lower the price. And then after, let's say, another month goes by, nothing happens, there's no action, the bank will then reduce the asking price. But they will never accept like a super low, let's say 50% off the asking price offer on the first month. That could happen. Let's say if 6 months go by, then yes, there's a chance the banks will accept a fairly low, still reasonable, but fairly low offer from anybody who is willing to write on the property. Let's say a property is listed for 1.5 and you are one of the lucky ones who, let's say, writes a $1.3 million offer and the bank accepts the offer. So the deal moves forward, but it's not a done deal yet because now the court date will be decided. It's usually dependent on how busy the courts are, anywhere from 3 weeks to like 10 weeks, usually like a month, let's say, is what it generally takes for the court date to come. And on the court date, there are two risks that you have as the original bidder. The seller, the actual owner of the property, they might, for some reason, let's say they get the money from their family or friends, whatever, they could still come back in the deal and they could literally just grab their own house. Or anyone else can write an offer on the property. Yes, it's an accepted offer. Generally, other people in a normal sale, they cannot write an offer unless that's the first buyer backs out. But in a court order sale, anyone can write an offer on the court date. And the worst thing about this is everyone else will be told exactly what you offered and what the accepted offer was. But there's a small good news. Remember how you, as the first original bidder, you had the opportunity to do an inspection and you had the opportunity to write an offer with subject to financing and get your financing and everything in order before even removing subjects. The next buyers, let's say if they want to write an offer on the court date, they have to put a no subject cash offer. Doesn't mean they actually have to bring the cash, but they still have to put no subjects at all. Of course, they still it will still be the same, no guarantees of course from the bank, but on top of that, no subjects at all, no matter what. And another small good news for the first original bidder would be the last or the second bidders usually are supposed to submit the offer 2 business days before the actual court date. And on top of that, you as the first original bidder will be told You won't be told how many other offers. Some lawyers do, but most lawyers just say that yes, there are some other offers. You will be given a final opportunity to revise your bid. Now remember how everyone knew what you offered on the place? Unfortunately, you will not be told exactly what the other offers are. So now you have two options. You can either leave the price as is, don't do anything. So 99.9% you will not get the property now. Because most likely the other offers, or doesn't matter if even if it's one offer or multiple offers, they knew your price. So they would have at least given the court at least like $5,000-$10,000 more than your bid just to get the property. So in the worst case scenario, at least try to come up the price by at least like something like $11,000, let's say, just to increase the chances of you getting the property. Or depending on what the actual market value of the property is, let's say the same example 1.5, you wrote 1.3. If I was the buyer, I would probably, again assuming maybe the property is worth 1.5, let's say, and of course there's a risk involved that there could be a lot of things wrong with the property, holes in the walls, leaks and appliances not working, or the seller just taking away all the appliances. Anything is possible. So how much would that risk be valued at? Totally up to you. According to me, I would say at least for a $1.5 million property, at least $100K. So assuming 1.4 is the actual market value of that property, again 1.5 in the normal sale, 1.4 in the court order sale, I would personally probably pay something like 1.351, like if there are other offers, just to get a fair shot at getting the property. Now of course you could actually pay the normal market value, which is 1.4, or of course in some cases you could even pay 1.5, which is the true market value if it was not a court order sale, and if for some reason you're not valuing the risk, like you're valuing it at zero. The main question then becomes, why are you even buying the court order sale if you're paying the same exact price as you would have in a normal sale? So never buy the court order sale and take on such a big risk unless that specific property is one in a million. There's no other property like that. It's just very unique and you just want that one, and there's nothing like that on the market, and you believe there will be nothing like that exact property coming on the market in the next, let's say, 100 days. So that, yes, then it makes sense to, of course, pay the whatever the market value is. That risk doesn't matter. But if it's just a cookie cutter condo, townhouse, even a starter detached house, more properties will come on the market. So never pay the actual true fair market value of, let's say, 1.5. At least get 1.4. Of course, try to go 1.35. An extra 50K just to take the big risk. But 1.5 is just again, this is just example. Of course, could be 1 million, could be 500K, doesn't matter. But never pay the actual market value if you don't have to. Now, if you'd like the list of all the foreclosures in your specific neighborhood, comment the word foreclosure with the area that you're interested in and your max budget and your email address, and I will send you the list and we can go from there. Bye.